On Saturday. Oh, I think I just cracked the case. That looks so much nicer. Yeah. So now that everybody that would have clicked off in the first 30 seconds are gone, hey, it's nice to see you guys. Thank you so much for the 50K. It is unbelievable that in a year, almost to the dot, we were able to do this and build this. And I did not ever expect any of this. And that is all thanks to you guys, for real. And in celebration, I thought a Q&A would be pretty fun, so you guys can kind of get to know me more as a person and not just the guy that says, haha, that was nice, ding. You know what I mean? So let's just get right into it. So here's a batch of questions that are all kind of similar. What was the game that made you decide to start your channel? When did you decide to start making videos? What made you want to start a YouTube channel dedicated to winning games? And what inspired me to make this kind of content? I'll answer all of those kind of at the same time. So a year ago I started the channel, and it didn't actually start from a place of positivity. The idea of creating content first hit my brain after I played The Last of Us Part 2. And it was right after I had finished it. I was just sitting there at the credits, and I was just angry and fuming about everything that I just experienced. So my first video I had planned was going to talk about why the Abby switch doesn't work from a structural and narrative standpoint and all of that, and just rip the game apart and blah blah blah. And I had seen so many other people do that already. So after seeing all this negativity, it was actually a very simple progression to narrowing in on the sin-win format, where I went to go look for GamingWins if anybody had done it already, if it existed. And to my surprise and glee, I saw that there was nobody doing GamingWins that I could find, at least. So once I saw that, it was very easy. I knew the format like the back of my hand. I love video games. I already had all the entry-level equipment needed to start it, so I just said, why not? Why not start a channel? Why not try to make videos and just see what happens? Maybe something that I have to say might resonate with somebody. I don't know. And here we are. That's kind of how the channel coalesced into what it is now from the start. Where do you take suggestions for videos the most from, and which genre do you usually gravitate towards? It's either going to come from something that's new or a big classic that we all love, like the Assassin's Creed games I've been doing and the Batman ones. I want to go back and get those games, especially right now with 2021 being dry as all hell with game releases. I see this as a good time to go back and play through all those older games before new stuff starts rolling out in the holiday season. What genre do I normally gravitate towards? I think I have the most fun playing RTS games when it comes to just a pure enjoyment. If it's just me, you know, RTS games have always been a special place to me. Command & Conquer was one of the first games I ever played, and Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth. Those two games kind of were my first video games when I was like 5 or 6 on my dad's computer, so they have a really special place to me. And RTS, I just it was my end to video games, and I have never left since. How did you decide the core concept of your channel, and what made you want to start to create content, and why did you decide the sin-win format specifically? I kind of already covered that. The core concept being spreading positivity about the video games that we love or hate, and then the sin-win format, there was just a niche ready to be filled, and I saw an opportunity and filled that. So it was kind of a win-win. I wanted to spread this positivity, and there was a place perfectly for me to be slotted in. That core concept of positivity is probably what keeps me going the most whenever it gets tough or something goes wrong, or it's hard. It's just it's actually really easy to be positive about things whenever you start really doing it, instead of just hate, anger. It's much easier just to go through and look at the good parts, and of course don't be blind to carry on. Are there any games or series you won't touch on your channel? No, actually, not really. So far, I've only done story games except for one, which is Minecraft, and that has no story, and I love that video. I'm really proud of that video, and so if I'm able to make a video about Minecraft, I don't think anything is off the table. It's definitely a much more different kind of video. It's not exactly the sin-win format, but that's okay, and I do want to branch out to, you know, Dark Souls and stuff that's more gameplay driven and talk about that. And if we want to get really crazy, talk about multiplayer experiences. But that's down the road. We got a lot of stories to get through right now. Out of all the games you've made videos on, which would you consider your favorite and why? Ooh. Normally when it comes to a video that I really like, it normally comes down to how much I enjoy what I said in the conclusion. So my favorite video, I have actually two. One isn't out yet, but it's coming out soon, is the Assassin's Creed 4 video. I'm in love with my conclusion there. I'm just really happy and proud about how that turned out. But also my Last of Us Part 1 video, I'm really, really pleased, and I had a really great time writing that conclusion. Even though there's lots of contradictory stuff in it, it's one of my favorites. Why do you why do you over-explain things? It gets on my nerves when you do that. That's the game with this channel, boy. That's what's gonna happen. That's what I love to do. I love talking about the themes, why it happens, why it's like that. It's I get a good kick out of deconstructing and analyzing what everything does in conjunction with itself. I get a lot of enjoy in that. And sorry about your nerves. How much time does it cost to make a video? Before I hired Sean, my editor, it would take the good chunk of 2 weeks just sitting down, putting my head to the grindstone, and just going at it for 2 weeks. At that time, before I hired Sean, it would always come down to the length of the game. Like with the Red Dead 2 video, it took me 30 hours just to beat the game. Then I gotta go through all the footage again, start writing down the script, and then write the conclusion, and then piece it all together in the edit. I could probably, the Red Dead 2 video, I can only estimate took me probably about 60 to 70 hours over 2 weeks. That's just a guess though. I really don't know. I don't really track it. I just keep creating, you know. I feel like if I kept track of it, it would start to wear on me just seeing the numbers pile up. How did you get your channel to where it is now? I don't know. I would say, actually, honestly speaking, there's a phrase that says, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And so me sliding myself into the GamingWins niche was the main reason this channel really started to grab traction so quickly. Other than that, I really can't say. I think I know the Spider-Man videos really helped get there. I don't know why, just the algorithm gods shined on me one day, and that really got the ball rolling. And once the ball is rolling, it's just a snowball effect, really, when it comes to this kind of stuff. But other than luck and grabbing that niche, I really can't say why this is working, but I'm just so thankful that it is. Have you watched any of Dartigan's videos, the person who does GamingWins? And if yes, did his videos have any impact on your point of view for the wins on your videos? I've seen some of his videos. I will not watch his content until I have created my own video for that same game, just because I don't like my brain being skewed and it's hard to explain, but I want to just be fresh and have it just all be me whenever I create something. With how similar we are, I don't want any effect, but I really enjoy watching a video of a game that we've both done, and it's really funny because sometimes we will say the same thing, but he'll spin it as a sin and I'll spin it as a win, and it's all about perspective, and I get a really good kick out of that. Have you been in conversation with any of the other sin-win channels? Yes and no. Me and Dartigan, the GamingWins, the only channel left alive doing GamingWins, we've played some games on stream and had some emails and talked on Discord a little bit. But the Cinema Sins and Cinema Wins, Jeremy and Lee, nothing. They probably don't even know we exist. Honestly, they're so busy with their own stuff going on. I would love to. It would be an awesome, you know, meet your heroes moment, but not yet. This is a good one. Do you play the games you win? Kind of have to, you know? I don't know how else I'd make the video if I didn't play them. So, when you make a video on a game, forcing you to redo it and make research about it, does it ruin the experience or the enjoyment of playing the game? And thus, for your videos, do you play the games or do you go through them as work? That's a really interesting question because it's a little bit of both. That's a really interesting question because it's a really hard one to answer because I still love playing video games and I love creating content for you guys. But since this now has become my livelihood and what keeps the roof over my head and food in my belly, it's much harder to differentiate, you know, play and work whenever it comes to that, because, you know, playing a game, it gets a little bit difficult in my brain it gets hard to separate play and work because they are so integrated now. Does it ruin the experience? No, because when I do play the game, I'll record it, of course, but other than just recording, I don't think about YouTube. I don't think about what could be a win, what could be this, that, or the other. I just play and let the game overtake me. so I can have an honest experience like you guys do. I'm gonna read it again. Fuck. I want to answer it well. I just try to play through it and enjoy it for what it is, to try and separate that work part, so I don't burn myself out, so I don't look at a video game and be like, this again. I don't want that. Once that happens, I gotta reevaluate everything. But after is whenever the real work starts. You know, this kind of content is actually mostly writing. It's being a gamer, but like after is when the real work starts, where I gotta start writing, doing research, coming up with a conclusion that I'm proud of, all that, making the thumbnail. That's more of the work side of things. But they say if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, and that's not true. I'll be the first one to say that it's not true. Sometimes it does become work, and that's just how it is. And that's mostly because it's a damn hard question. There's balance for sure to be achieved, and I think I might have found it. But I think I'll constantly be reminding myself and checking myself and saying, hey, are you doing this for the right reasons? Does this feel right? Does this make you happy? It's really tough. It's a really tough balance between work and play, especially when it comes to something that I grew up my entire life loving to do. I'll say this to cap off the question. I don't really play games anymore ever since I started creating the channel, and that's not because I don't like them anymore. It's just because I get so much game time with creating these videos that after I'm done and have my free time, I don't want to play a game. I want to go do something else. I want to play the ukulele or hang out with people, you know? The one game I do play for leisure is Smash Bros with friends, but that's a communal thing. It's with friends. So it's really been interesting watching my relationship with video games not change, but morph a little bit now that I'm creating content. But I wouldn't change it for the world. Will there be more music in the future? Maybe. That one song, One Chance, that was just a spur of the moment burst of, I need to do this. I've written other songs, and I have a couple other things ruminating in my head, and I love plucking away and just writing stuff on the ukulele, but the best I could say is maybe. If there's enough demand for it and you guys really want more music, I would love to do it. When you do a video for one game from a series, will you make videos on the rest of the games in that series, or will you just leave it for the one game? Yeah, short answer, yeah. I'll get through all franchises that I start eventually. I'm just not super huge on, you know, just making it like Assassin's Creed week or Batman Arkham Asylum week. I don't want to release sequel after sequel of the same content because that just gets boring. I want to keep it mixed up and not burn myself out, you know? What recording editing software do you use? I use Premiere Pro and Audacity, and Sean, my editor, also uses Premiere Pro. So the Creative Cloud is a necessary evil, but it's just so good. It's just so good. What is your mindset going into experiencing the games you review? I just go in with a blank mind. I really don't have any expectations of anything. I just want to go in and experience the game and feel what the game wants me to feel, completely unadulterated by anything. And that's a big reason why I don't like watching trailers for content or movies or watch interviews, or I don't want to know anything about this stuff that I consume before I do, unless it's like food, you know. I don't want to get poisoned, you know. I don't want to die. But yeah, that's kind of, I like going in blind and blank with no expectations whenever I review a game. What games won't you do a video on? There's this one game called Bad Rats. I'll never do a fucking video on that. Never. If you want to know what it is, go into Steam and look it up. It's like $1. I will never do a video on Bad Rats, no matter what. Okay? Fuck that game. Fuck it. What games have you platinumed, considered platinuming? I've only actually platinumed one game in my whole life, and that is Modern Warfare 2. I was like 8 or 9, maybe, probably like 11 or 12 whenever I did it. And ever since that, and especially now, I just don't really have the time to be dedicating to going through all the motions of grabbing every trophy and all of that, because, you know, it's a new game every week. Can't really dive super deep into, like, you know, high five 10 people on the street, you know what I mean? It's just, it's not conducive to my time. If you got to decide how a new game should be made, what kind of game would you make, and on what things would you put the focus on? So, I've always So I've always had this idea. Me and my old friend Jared, we had this idea for a MOBA. I love MOBAs. I'm mostly Smite. I know a little bit about League of Legends, but I love MOBAs, and we had this idea of some kind of medieval style with magic and stuff, but the main draw of it would be the way all the laning phases go, and instead of there being like a tower or inhibitor right before the Nexus or the Ancient or the Titan, right before that, instead there's it's like a castle wall. You have a gate that you have to batter down if you want to go that way, or you can get ladders to go up and over the walls, or siege towers or something like that. And if you want to get your minions in there, you'll have to break down or give them ladders or some kind of access somehow. And the way you get those is your team has to pool together gold that they put into a pot, and that community gold that they offer to that all goes into purchasing siege equipment to get at the Ancient or the Titan or what have you. And I don't know how it would work out balance-wise at all, because I already think about 10 different ways that could go wrong, but it just sounds like a really cool novel idea, and maybe that's all it is just a novel idea, and that's probably what it is. But if you're a game developer out there, take the idea, it's yours. Might regret that later, but it's a good idea, right? Anyway, that's the kind of game I would make. I think it would just be cool. It'd be a bit different than the typical MOBAs that we have now, because they're all pretty much the same. 3 towers, 3 lanes, guy at the end, jungle. Mix it up. Do some weird shit. I don't know if any of you ever played Dawnbreak. It was really cool. It was really, really cool. It was only 2 lanes, and you had miners on the outside of the jungle. I know I'm going off topic, but miners that would get you your trickle gold, and if you went and killed those miners, you lowered the other team's trickle gold, and the player that killed the miners got a little bit of extra. And it was just super cool, super fun. The characters were fun, but it didn't do well enough. And did I say Dawngate? I think it might be Dawnbreak. One of the two. Super fun. Have you ever played Apex Legends? If so, how is it for you? Yeah, actually, I've played a lot and spent a lot of money on Apex Legends, and I don't play it anymore just because I don't like that it all comes down to one thing, and the one thing is who can aim better. You could do everything right. You could have the proper positioning, weapons, attachments, everything, but if you miss your shots, you lose. And I'm just not a big fan of like zero-sum games like that, where it just comes down to that one little moment, even after you've been running around for 15 minutes looting and shooting and stuff. I'm not a fan of that. Especially like, when I really boil it down, since I'm a console player, when it comes to Apex, whoever has the better thumb wins. Doesn't matter if you played better in your brain, like doesn't matter how much better you are in every other aspect. Whoever has the better thumb wins the game. It's really all it comes down to, and I don't know, I don't really like that. It's not really my cup of tea anymore. I'd rather play something cooperative or something more just silly and fun. You know what I mean? Have you ever played a Souls game or Souls-like? How do you think you would win a game like that? It would probably be more akin to the Minecraft video, where it's more of a conversation and not so much blah 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 ding, da 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 ding, like this, that, and the other. Not really. I'll probably touch on the story and something like that if there is one, but it would mostly just be a conversation piece about the experience that I had with the game. It would be much more subjective positivity than objective positivity that the main win section permeates. What is your favorite game personally? That's a hard question. It's gonna change every day. You ask me tomorrow, it probably won't be what it is today. You asked me yesterday, you asked me 10 years ago. It's always changing. But if I had to pick right now, it'd probably be Smash Bros. Just because I love the game. I know all the mechanics, and I just love playing it with my homies and my friends. It's just so much fun doing that and doing 1v1s and team battles. I don't know. That's probably my favorite game right now. Which game left you feeling empty after playing it? I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to guess. Last of Us Part 2. Hands down, The Last of Us Part 2. After I finished the game and watched the credits roll, I was just sitting there looking and just like flabbergasted and just nothing. I was angry, upset, but like empty is the best way to put it. So empty, in fact, I decided to do all this, you know, to buy a microphone, to have lights, and use my camera and create content. That's how empty the game made me feel. So in a way, thanks, Neil Druckmann. You're the best. Anyway, what would you say your favorite comfort game is, as one you can just pick up and play and unwind? Smash Bros, dude. As long as I have someone to play with it. That's just the most fun way to fuck me. No, not that. Don't fuck me. Smash Bros is just like the most fun game to play with friends, and it doesn't matter what you know about anything. You can pick it up and press A and B and do cool little specials, and maybe you'll accidentally get a kill. I don't know. It's just so much fun. And for those of you wondering, yes, I'm super competitive in the way that I play it, which is tournament rules only, legal maps only, all that, no items, all that stuff. Sure, that's boring to some, but I love it so much. So much. What do you like to do in your free time when you're not gaming? When I'm not gaming, well, the only time I game is really for the channel anymore nowadays. So if I'm not doing a video for the channel, I'm probably just hanging out with my my friends / family, and if not that, playing music a little bit, and maybe just sitting around watching a movie or something. I don't know. I don't really do too much outside of the content that you guys see. It's just I live a very simple life. You know, music, friends, and food. All I need to be happy. Outside of this, you know. So, what do you like to do in your spare time besides playing games, of course? I don't really have spare time. No, I do. But normally if I have spare time, it's funny. When you work from home and when you work in your own bedroom, like I do, at least for the moment, hopefully that will change soon, it's really hard to not just work. Because spare time, when you're in the room, I just look at the computer and I see I could start writing, I could start recording another game. So spare time and all that, it's really finicky, and it's really weird trying to decide when to start and stop whenever you're the only one telling you when to go. What is your favorite Star Wars movie? Mine personally is Revenge of the Sith. Oh yeah, that's mine too, dude. Revenge of the Sith, hands down the best one. But if we're considering a movie, the Siege of Mandalore arc? Oh, it's so good. The Siege of Mandalore arc is so fucking good. I love the hell out of it. Those 4 episodes, the music, Ahsoka, the animation, it all is just so perfect in every way. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. I mean, life's got its ups and downs. It's a roller coaster, of course, but like when I really think about it and get down to it and cut out all the bullshit noise that my brain might be raging war with itself on, I am good, and that mostly is probably because of what you guys afford me the opportunity to do. Like, it's crazy that I get to do this for a living, and I can't take that for granted, and because of that, like, I can't be any worse than good, you know. I can't be, and I really appreciate that to you guys and my friends and family helping me get through this weird thing that is life. It's crazy. It's crazy. Not just this, just living, breathing, being human, it's crazy. It really is when you start thinking about it, but we could save that conversation for another time, maybe on a stream or something. We can get into what my brain thinks about the human condition. Anyway, it's crazy. What is your favorite color? Come on. Look at the channel. You think I just picked that for no reason? Purple every day. Purple is so good. Purple is the best color. Blue's cool, literally, but like, blue's everywhere. Blue's blue. It's just like, but purple, lilacs, so pretty. Especially like you might think it's the shade of the subtitles. No, it's a little bit deeper than that. Not a royal purple, but like just like a slightly darker purple. Just such a pretty color. And I just realized I don't own a purple shirt. How much do you earn from this? Enough to live comfortably. I like chicken. Do you like to consume chicken? Oh yeah. What is your opinion on sin content, since it is your opposite? I don't really have one. I mean, I do have one. Of course I have one. There's definitely a place for it, you know. There's you can't have one without the other, you know. There's the win content, there's the sin content, and they both have their audiences and entertainment values and reasons for being out there. I like sin content, especially like it's just all in fun. It really is. It's not mean-spirited at all. I've seen a lot of people attacking Jeremy and Dartigan. As long as it's coming from a place of fun and entertainment and not taking it too seriously, I say yeah. Sin content's great. It's just another form of entertainment. Where the issue comes is whenever it gets mean-spirited at the people that created it. When it's just becoming negativity for negativity's sake. When you're just breaking things down for the sake of it and not trying to be funny or entertaining. It's all should just be a joke. But if it becomes more than that and it's all fly. When it becomes more than that, that's I feel like when it comes to an issue. But thankfully, with Dartigan and Cinema Sins, it doesn't, and I think that's really cool. And there's a lot of people that really enjoy that kind of content. I think that's great. I really do. Do you like moose? Yeah, they're cool. They're a little big for my taste, but I ain't got nothing wrong with moose. Moose are cool. I like them. I like moose. Yeah, I like moose. I like moose. Moose is cool. Or are you talking about like the chocolate? Chocolate mousse, kind of weird. Kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about it. I've only had it like once or twice. I don't know. I was like 14. Had little 14 taste buds. I still don't have good taste buds. I'm picky as shit, but that's fine. We don't have to talk about that. Where do you want your channel to be at in a few years? I think at the bare minimum, all I want for the channel to be at is be at a place where I can continually do this for a full-time living. I think that's all I want. I don't really care about the numbers. I don't care how many people are there. I don't need 1 million subscribers. I don't need thousands of likes. I don't need a lot of validation through numbers. All I want is to be able to create this content for you guys and be able to live and feed myself and keep my roof over my head and live comfortably. If the channel stayed the size it is right now forever, I could be happy. I really could. Can we maybe hear a little bit about yourself? You've done a lot to make us happy with your virus. I think you mean videos, and I think we're all curious to know more about you. I mean, this is what this is all for, is to get to know me a little bit more better, but I'll just shoot from the hip with this one. I've lived in Missouri my entire life in the United States. I've been overseas once. I was a theater choir boy in high school. I really like minimalism, and I like their approach with everything when it comes to intentional purchases and what you keep in your life. I really enjoyed that. Like, my entire wardrobe is only solid color clothing, solid pants, solid shirts, just to keep that simple in my brain. Everything has a place. That's my big thing. Everything has a place. What advice would you give a teenager about life in general? Dude, I'm only 21. I guess I'll speak if I could give myself advice when I was in high school. Like, if I could go back, almost half your teenage years that you're going to remember is going to be in high school. So make the best of it, but also understand that high school is really not shit. It's really not in the grand scheme of your life, and you can make it something awesome and monumental and all this, that, and the other. But after like a year or two, you're going to look back and be like, that was whatever. I'm on to real world shit. You know, school to me is just 18 years of vamping until we can actually get on with our lives, and it just sucks that that's just the way it is, but that's how it is. I've used no skills that I learned in high school except for maybe communication, you know, talking to people, and a little bit of writing, but like editing, photography, everything that I do for the YouTube channel that makes me my living right now, I did not learn in high school. It's all been online. I've been self-taught on everything. So don't go to college right out of the gate. That is my advice. If you know exactly what you want to be, if you know for without a doubt that you want to be a doctor and go do that, or be a lawyer and do that, sure, go for it. But part of me still wants to say, give it a year, give it 2 years, really figure it out, because while you're doing school, there's so much pressure on you to make that decision. I'm in debt right now for 1 year of college. And I dropped out because it just wasn't for me. It wasn't right. But I didn't know that until after I spent all the money. You just want to be sure, whenever you're going to spend that much money, that what you're going to do is what you want to do. And easier said than done, I know. I still don't even know what I really want to do. This is just cool. This is just fun. And maybe I'll do this forever. I love doing this, so maybe I will, but I'm no authority and I'm no anything. Like I always say, I don't really know much about anything. I'm just a person trying his best.